Imagine waking up one day and realizing your mind is finally free. No endless worries, no nagging self-doubt, no overanalyzing every little thing. Just clarity, just peace. Sounds impossible. Maybe. But what if I told you it's not? In today's video, we're diving into 7 toxic habits that are silently holding your mind hostage. And trust me, you need to quit them right now. Inspired by the profound wisdom of Buddhism, these powerful shifts will help you break free from mental clutter and step into a life of calm, focus, and emotional freedom. 1. Stop overthinking everything. Overthinking. The art of making simple things impossibly complicated. You know the drill. A tiny thought pops up, and suddenly, you've built an entire Netflix series in your head, complete with alternate endings and worst-case scenarios. Spoiler alert, none of them actually happen. We convince ourselves that thinking about something endlessly will bring clarity. But in reality, overthinking is like running on a treadmill. You're exhausted, but you've gone nowhere. It drains your energy, feeds your anxiety, and keeps you stuck in a loop of what-ifs and should-haves. Buddhism teaches that the mind is like water. When agitated, it becomes cloudy. But when still, it reflects clarity. Overthinking doesn't lead to better decisions. It just buries you under a mountain of unnecessary stress. So here's the question. What if you let go? What if, instead of replaying conversations, doubting yourself, and worrying about things beyond your control, you simply stopped? Stick around, because we're just getting started. The next habit? It's an even bigger trap than overthinking. And hey, before we move on, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a video that just might change your life. Have you ever noticed how overthinking is like arguing with yourself? And somehow, you still lose? It keeps you stuck, not in reality, but in an endless maze of what-ifs and should-haves. You replay conversations, analyze every detail, and create imaginary disasters that never actually happen. And in doing so, you miss out on the one thing that actually matters: the present moment. Buddhism teaches that suffering isn't caused by the events in our lives, but by our resistance to them. Overthinking is resistance in its purest form, a desperate attempt to control the uncontrollable. It doesn't change reality, it just exhausts you. So here's a challenge. The next time your mind starts spiraling, pause. Take a deep breath. Feel the weight of your feet on the ground. Listen to the sounds around you. Because when you stop letting your mind run wild, you regain control. You make space for clarity, peace, and confidence. And speaking of things that weigh you down, second, stop holding grudges. Grudges. The emotional equivalent of carrying a backpack full of bricks, except you're the one who packed it and the person who hurt you. They probably don't even know you're still lugging it around. We've all been hurt, betrayed, lied to. But here's the hard truth. Clutching onto that pain like a prized possession doesn't punish them. It punishes you. Buddhism teaches that forgiveness isn't about excusing what happened. It's about freeing yourself. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Spoiler alert, they won't. So, who's really in control here? Them or you? Because when you let go of grudges, you reclaim your peace. And that's power. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to let go of the things that hold you back. The next habit? It's even more toxic than this one. Stay tuned. Are you carrying a grudge, or is it carrying you? Think about it. Grudges don't just sit quietly in the background. They drain your energy, cloud your judgment, and keep you emotionally stuck. It's like dragging around a sack full of bricks while trying to move forward. Exhausting, isn't it? Here's the truth. Forgiving someone doesn't mean what they did was okay. It doesn't erase the pain. But it does one important thing. It frees you. Because as long as you hold onto that resentment, you're giving power to the very person who hurt you. They might have walked away, forgotten about it, or never even realized the damage they caused. Meanwhile, you're still carrying the weight. Let it go. Not for them. For you. Because peace isn't something they can give you. It's something you take back. Third, stop comparing yourself to others. Ever looked at someone else's life and thought, wow, they've got it all together? Yeah, so has everyone else. Comparison is a mental trap, a race with no finish line. And thanks to society and social media, we do it constantly. We compare our success, our looks, our relationships, our achievements. And what does it give us in return? Insecurity, self-doubt, jealousy. Buddhism teaches that comparison is an illusion. No two people have the same past, the same struggles, or the same journey. So why measure yourself against someone who isn't even walking your path? Your focus should be on your own growth, your own progress, your own wins. The moment you stop looking sideways and start looking forward, you'll realize you were never in competition with anyone but yourself. Are you living for yourself or for someone else's approval? Think about it. How often do we shape our decisions, actions, and even personalities around what others might think? Comparison is a never-ending loop that keeps us chasing validation. But here's the reality. There's only one person you should be competing with: your past self. When you stop measuring yourself against others, something powerful happens. You start embracing your own story, your own progress, and your own individuality. No more jealousy, no more feeling not enough, just self-acceptance and the freedom to be exactly who you are. Fourth, stop saying yes to everything. Ever agreed to something just because you didn't want to upset someone? Yeah, we've all been there. Maybe it was an extra task at work, a favor for a friend, or an invitation you didn't really want to accept. But here's the thing. Saying yes to everything is saying no to yourself. Overcommitting leads to burnout, frustration, and a life where your own needs come last. And Buddhism teaches us a vital lesson. Balance. You're not obligated to do everything for everyone. You don't have to be available 24/7. Saying no isn't selfish. It's necessary. It protects your time, your energy, and your peace. So next time you feel pressured to say yes, pause, ask yourself, is this adding value to my life or just adding stress? If it's the latter, say no with confidence. 5, quit relying on external validation. Let's be honest, we all crave approval. Whether it's likes on social media, compliments from others, or simply a nod of recognition, external validation feels good. But relying on it? That's a trap. The moment your self-worth is tied to what others think, you lose control over your own happiness. If they approve, you feel great. If they don't, doubt, insecurity, anxiety. Buddhism teaches that true confidence comes from within. You don't need anyone's permission to feel worthy. The more you detach from seeking approval, the freer you become. Are you living for yourself, or are you just a puppet waiting for applause? Think about it. How often do we let a few likes, comments, or compliments decide how we feel about ourselves? Social media, praise at work, approval from friends. It all feels good, but here's the problem. It never lasts. One moment, you're on top of the world because someone noticed your efforts. The next, silence. And suddenly, that self-doubt creeps in. Why didn't they like my post? Why didn't they compliment me this time? Am I not good enough anymore? The trap of external validation. The real issue. External validation is like fast food. It gives you a quick high, but leaves you starving for more. The more you chase it, the more dependent you become. And when the praise doesn't come, you start questioning your worth. But here's the truth. Your value doesn't come from someone else's opinion. Buddhism teaches that true confidence isn't found in likes or applause. It comes from within. No one else should have the power to decide your worth. Be your own biggest supporter. The moment you stop seeking approval, you reclaim your power. You no longer need someone else to tell you you're good enough. You just know it. This isn't arrogance. This is freedom. When you believe in yourself, you stop bending for every judgment, every expectation, every fleeting opinion. You walk with confidence, knowing that your worth isn't up for debate. So tell me, are you done being a puppet? Or will you finally cut the strings? How long will you let your past hold you hostage? We all do it. Replaying old mistakes, reliving painful moments, clinging to regrets like they're souvenirs from a place we never wanted to visit. We tell ourselves, if only I had done things differently. But the past doesn't bargain. It just sits there, unchangeable, while we keep handing it power over our present. The weight of yesterday Buddhism teaches that attachment to the past is a form of suffering. And let's be real. What do we gain by obsessing over what's already done? Regret? Guilt? The emotional equivalent of quicksand? The more we focus on what was, the more we lose sight of what is. Life is happening right now, but if your mind is stuck in, how long will you let the past control you? We carry it like a heavy backpack. Old wounds, regrets, grudges. We tell ourselves we've moved on, but have we really? Or are we just dragging the past along, letting it shape our present without even realizing it? The prison of unforgiveness. One of the biggest reasons we stay stuck is simple. We haven't forgiven ourselves or others. And no, forgiveness doesn't mean pretending nothing happened. It doesn't mean excusing the past. It means refusing to let it own you. When you hold on to resentment, anger, or regret, you're not punishing the past. You're punishing yourself. Redefining the past. Every experience, good or bad, has shaped who we are. But do we let those moments define us, or do we redefine them? Buddhism teaches us that suffering is part of life, but it doesn't have to be our identity. What happened, happened. What we do with it now is our choice. Instead of reliving what's gone, why not focus on what's ahead? The future isn't waiting for you to finish arguing with your past. It's already here, and the only way to move forward is to stop looking back. Gratitude. The great escape. You can't be stuck in the past while appreciating the present. Try it. It's impossible. The moment you shift your focus to what you have now, the past starts to lose its grip. Gratitude doesn't erase what hurt you, but it does stop it from controlling you. So the real question is, are you ready to let go? You'll never fully experience now. You are not your past. Here's the truth. Your past is a chapter, not the whole book. It may have shaped you, but it doesn't have to define you. When we practice mindfulness, truly being present in the moment, we learn to acknowledge our past without drowning in it. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means freeing yourself from the grip of what can't be changed, so you can finally focus on what can be. So ask yourself, are you ready to turn the page? What if everything you're holding onto is what's holding you back? We cling to people, jobs, beliefs, things that feel like lifelines. We tell ourselves we need them, that without them, we'll be lost. But what if that's just fear talking? What if letting go is exactly what we need to do? The illusion of permanence. Buddhism teaches that nothing lasts forever. Not people, not circumstances, not even the beliefs we swear by. Yet we act as if holding on will stop change from happening. Spoiler alert, it won't. The tighter we grip, the harder life pulls. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about loosening the emotional chokehold we have on things that no longer serve us. It's about accepting that change is inevitable and learning to ride the waves instead of fighting the current. Who are you? Without the labels. We define ourselves by what we own, the roles we play, and the people around us. I am my job. I am my relationship. I am my success. But when those things shift, and they always do, we panic. We feel like we've lost ourselves. But here's the truth. Who you are has nothing to do with what you have. Your real self isn't tied to your possessions, status, or relationships. It's something deeper. Your awareness, your wisdom, your ability to adapt. And that part of you, it never leaves. So ask yourself, are you holding on because you truly need it? Or because you're afraid of who you'll be without it? What if letting go isn't losing, but making space for something better? We hold on, sometimes out of love, sometimes out of guilt. We stay in jobs, relationships, and situations that drain us, not because they serve us, but because we're afraid of what happens if we leave. But Buddhism teaches something radical. Letting go isn't selfish. It's an act of self-respect. If we don't take care of our own well-being first, how can we truly be there for others? Holding on out of guilt doesn't serve anyone. It only keeps us stuck. Emptiness isn't the enemy. We fear that letting go will leave us with nothing, just a vast empty space. But what if that emptiness is actually a fresh start? A garden doesn't thrive until the weeds are cleared. Maybe the things you're afraid to release are the very things blocking your growth. Control is an illusion. Let's be real. We love control. We cling to the belief that if we just hold on tight enough, we can shape every outcome. But control is a mirage. It keeps us exhausted, constantly bracing for the next unexpected twist. Buddhism tells us that real freedom comes not from control, but from trust. Trust that even if we don't know what comes next, we will be okay. Trust in ourselves, in life, in the natural rhythm of change. So the question is, are you holding on because it truly serves you, or just because you're afraid to let go? What if the only thing standing between you and peace is what you're afraid to let go of? We hold on, sometimes to memories, sometimes to pain, sometimes to people who no longer belong in our lives. And why? Because fear whispers, what if you need this? What if you're nothing without it? But the truth? Letting go doesn't make you weaker. It sets you free. When we release fear, fear of uncertainty, fear of loss, fear of the unknown, we stop living like prisoners of our own minds. We open the door to freedom, peace, and clarity. Letting go isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily practice. Every day, we get a choice. Do we cling to what holds us back, or do we make space for something better? Maybe it's a toxic thought, a toxic habit, or a toxic person. Whatever it is, ask yourself, is this helping me grow, or is it just weighing me down? Each time we let go, we become lighter. Each time we release, we make space for more clarity, more joy, more life. Trust the flow. Life doesn't stop. It moves, changes, evolves. The only question is, are you moving with it, or are you resisting? Letting go isn't losing. It's trusting. Trusting that by releasing what no longer serves you, you're making room for something far greater. You're not losing anything that was ever truly yours. What you gain is peace, freedom, and the chance to finally breathe. So, what's stopping you from letting go? If this spoke to you, subscribe and hit the bell icon. More raw truths coming your way. Blast off